looks like it's 10:02, so let's go ahead and get started. Please remember, if you haven't, make sure that you update your name so we know who you are and we can count you for attendance. Okay, so it looks like first today we have Mr. John Britt with stakeholder introductions. John, if you would not mind.
Good morning, everybody. How are you? Give me just a second to share my screen. All right, so we'll get started with the stakeholder introduction. Why do we do this? It's same as we always get to know others on the call and build some connections, and even some people who we've met before, maybe just get to know them, see their picture and who they are and what they like to do, and spotlight somebody for 30 to 45 seconds, and hopefully have some fun. So we asked this person, what do they like to do to relax or unwind? And he likes to walk in the woods or sit on a porch swing. Some interesting facts were his first jobs were at the McDonald's counter. He was pumping gas at a local gas station and served ice cream and renting videos. I'm guessing it's something like a Blockbuster, which the current generation has no idea what those are even about. Others may not know he is on his sixth career and he's happiest in EMS data. He's been doing this since 1987. What do you like best about your job? He's just said having an impact. So any guesses? So for those of you who have not met him, this is Mr. Peter Brody, Branch Chief of Data and Informatics at New York State Department of Health, Division of State and Emergency Medical Services. And Peter, when you only send me one picture to go with, I'm forced to go to Facebook to get others. And I'm glad you had a plethora of them. So, but I found some really great pictures of Peter, and you can definitely tell he's in EMS by the one on the bottom. But thanks for letting me introduce you, Peter. If you have not been introduced, please take a moment to scan this QR code and fill out the little form so that I can introduce you as well. And I'll always put the link in the chat later if you're on a computer and can't scan the link. And always, I love it. Just like this picture, this was taken after an annual meeting, and it's by Srikanth Bada from Florida. I'm just going to keep on going, Casey, if that's all right.
Yep, that sounds great.
So today is just a quick thing. I'm just asking for your help to review something. You may not know this exists, so it's a 2-for-1. So if you go to our homepage, NEMSIS.org, and you go to using EMS data in the NEMSIS 101, and you scroll down to under state specific tools, below that, there's a thing that says state, territory, data managers, and vendors. When you click it, that'll open a spreadsheet. I'm asking for your help, if you would do this, to check your state to make sure it is correct. If it is not correct, you can either send me an email or open a help desk ticket, and it'll get assigned to me. Benji just assign those to me and I'll fix them so that we can update your state page to make sure it's correct. I think they're mostly correct, but just in case, if you're on the call, I'd really like some help doing that. So I'll show you once more. Oops. I did not mean to close the whole thing. So you go to the NEMSIS homepage under using EMS data, NEMSIS 101, state specific tools, and state, territory, data managers, and vendors link. And that's all I have. Back to you, Kate.
All right. Thank you for that, John. Appreciate it. Next on the list, we have Clay, gonna discuss the critical patch compliance.
Yeah, good morning, folks. Happy to be meeting with you. Thank you for joining. Amanda's out of town this week, so I volunteered to give an update in regards to where we are with compliance testing for not only the critical patch, but also for version 3.5.1. So I will just share my screen real quickly. Okay, may I be allowed? Oh, okay, great, thank you. I'll just share my screen. So as folks may know, the 90-day date for the deadline to completing compliance testing on the critical patch was on July 10th. There were 7 vendors that were put on probation. They hadn't completed the process. Among those 7, 3 are actively testing now. 3 have passed compliance testing, but there is a requirement to attend a number of V3 calls afterwards. If you're put on probation, there's a requirement or some things that need to be completed before you're off of probation. So there's 3 vendors who have completed the process, but they'll come off probation as they complete those items, and then 1 vendor who we have not been able to get into contact with. So that's where that stands. If you want to know where any of the vendors are that are serving in your state, you can go to the NEMSIS website as always and look under compliance status, and these 7 will be listed along with all other of the software. Just a reminder also, version 3.5.1 is open for active testing. We have 2 vendors that have completed the 3.5.1 testing, and we have 4 that are actively testing. So congratulations to those vendors that have made that kind of progress. And then, of course, just maybe to provide a quick overview of the timeline that we've been talking about. So as folks know, the first set of critical patches were sent out. Of most interest is ePatient 25, the new element for patient sex that was included in those first rounds as a 0 to 1 in regards to completion. As we talked about, as of October 1, there'll be another critical patch that will be released. All it will do is move the recurrence for ePatient 25 to a 1 to 1. And then we will require on November 4th that all software vendors submit data that is compliant with that latest critical patch that comes on October 1. And as we've talked about, the element will become mandatory at that point because it's a national level, but all the not values, all the pertinent negatives that we have talked about in the past will be in play, as we've mentioned. So maybe just to give you a visual as to kind of what that looks like, we are here, right? So we passed the 90-day kind of testing for compliance period, and then we'll look forward to providing those resources to you October 1. Also of interest is that we'll be able at the TAC to be able to accept version 3.5.1 on August 30th. And so also just be prepared for that moment. And then also just one last thought, just for all the vendors, keep an eye on your recertification dates. There are several vendors that are coming up to be due next quarter in the fall. So just make sure to reach out to Amanda with any questions or for scheduling, and she'd be happy to oblige.
Hey,
Any
Clay,
questions related to that information?
there's a question in the Q&A session.
Oh, great.
Section, Clay.
Okay, let me see if I can. Is it okay if you read it? I apologize. I'm just trying to get.
Sure. Dipti from Georgia asked, what should a state do if one of those vendors are currently being used?
One of the ones that have not passed compliance is probably the question. Yeah, so we'll keep tabs on where they are in regards to compliance testing. As mentioned, 3 of the 7 have already passed. 3 are also in active testing. So Dipti, I think we're hopeful that in the next week or so, we'll be able to have all but 1 vendor who we haven't been able to reach out to. Dipti, if that's the vendor of interest, right, the one that we have not been able to contact, then we'd love to talk to you more about that, and we'll do what we can to accommodate what's happening in your state. And Dipti, maybe the thing to kind of remember about that as well, and I'll just share again, right, is we did kind of, there's a good lag right here, right, for people to be able to complete this process before records will not be accepted. And so Dipti, we're hopeful that in here we'll get 6 of the 7 completed. Does that answer your question, Dipti? Okay, great. Any other questions of me?
There's one. Jen from GMR says critical patch and pertinent negatives. Will a pertinent negative also require a value from the list?
Oh, Jen, that's a great question. I think, oh, that's a great question. Let me look at the schematron rules. Josh, do you know?
Yeah, for ePatient.25, the rule as currently written is that if you treated a patient, so if you had patient contact and you provided care, then there should be a value recorded for patient sex. So if you have a pertinent negative or a not value, then you would not have an actual value recorded for patient sex. So there would be a schematron warning on that. Just a warning, not an error. But yeah, so the one way to resolve that warning is to record male, female, or unknown, one of the values. Otherwise, if you have a not value or a pertinent negative, then that'll trigger the warning.
Thank you, Josh. Thanks, Jen. Any other questions in regards to compliance testing?
Yes, there's one more. Lena from, I'm assuming Florida. I'm in Florida. Should we already be receiving schematron warnings for sex?
Depending on what your vendor has done, whether they passed the CP compliance or not, and if they have implemented the new schema and schematron file, then I would say yes. Josh, what do you think?
Yeah, and the national database has already implemented the first critical patch, which included the introduction of that new warning. So on your submissions to the national database, if you don't have sex recorded, the national database will issue that warning. At the state level, it depends on whether you've implemented that first critical patch or not.
Another great question. Thank you.
Okay, it appears that was all the questions that have been asked on that topic.
Okay, great. I don't think I'm sharing anymore, Casey, so I'll pass it back to you.
Very good. All right. Next up, we have Lauri to discuss the vendor contact list. Looks like Lauri is sharing her screen there.
Yep, thanks, Casey. And can everyone see an Excel sheet that I'm sharing here?
Yes.
Great. Just wanted to give an update on this project. This should have gone out to vendors in an email last week for you to review and let us know if you have anything to add or change. One slight adjustment is that we've heard from some people that they are willing to share more personal emails and phone numbers if it's not public. So we're going to create 2 versions on our website. There will be a public version, which is what you see here, which is often the general help desk, general contact information for a vendor. And then if you're willing to share more personal, we will put that on the SEMSO's website. And so they have that password protected so that only state data managers can view it. And I can just scroll down here quickly if you want to look for your information. So there's 2 tabs. The first is collect and send. And then on the second tab, we have state level receive and process vendors. And so again, if you are willing to share more personal information than this or more specific for your company, please let us know. Probably a help desk ticket is the easiest way to let us know what contact information you want on here. And then we hope to get this posted, the public version posted on our website, probably the same place where John shared earlier, which is under using EMS data, NEMSIS 101. It'll be under that state specific tools. So next to the state contact list, we'll now have a vendor contact list as well. And hopefully that'll help to improve the communication between those two groups. Any questions? If you want to put a question in chat. Otherwise, reach out to us if we can update or change anything on here. And we will get this posted soon and also get it to NEMSIS to post on their website as well. All right, back to you, Casey.
All right. Thank you, Lauri. Next up, we're going to have Jeremy with updates for NHTSA office. And then after that will be Monet to discuss annual meeting. Jeremy, are you ready, sir?
Yes. Can you guys hear me okay?
Thumbs up.
Okay, great. Thanks, Casey. Thanks for joining. Thanks everybody for joining today. Just a few quick updates from the NHTSA office of EMS. I know I mentioned on some previous calls that we've entered into an interagency agreement with the Department of Defense, specifically the National Center for Public Health and Disaster Medicine. So through that IAA and our work with them, we'll be implementing 20 to 25 pre-hospital blood transfusion programs across the country over the next 3 years or so, with one of the primary goals for us is going to be to evaluate their impact on motor vehicle crash patients' outcomes. So I don't have any further updates on that work that we're doing with the DoD for today. Just want to let folks know that we're working through the agreements with DoD, and as I have more information, I'll be happy to share that with folks. I also wanted to mention that a couple weeks ago now, the annual meeting for ATSIP, the Association of Transportation Safety Information Professionals, they had their annual traffic records forum a couple weeks ago in Boston. It was a great conference, well attended. Some of you may be familiar with ATSEP and TRF if you have a good relationship, I think, with the folks in your state that manage traffic records. There was a lot of great presentations, and also we had several sessions on data integration. And so that was really interesting to sit on and hear from folks on the traffic safety side about successes that they've had in terms of integrating with EMS or other types of data. There was a great presentation there for some folks from Texas on some of the work that they're doing. And then also some folks from Children's Hospital of Philadelphia that run the NJ Show program for the New Jersey kind of data integration database. So that was really great. And then obviously I just separately from that, I'm aware that there's a couple other states that have had success in that data integration space. And the reason I really wanted to bring that up is just to let folks know that our office, our leadership at NHTSA, the National Center for Statistics and Analysis at NHTSA, which run FARS and CRIS and some of our other traffic crash data systems, over the next year, and our partners at the NEMSIS TAC, we're really going to be pushing hard to kind of explore and see how we can improve data integration between our EMS and traffic crash systems, and going to be exploring what's kind of the best method for us to do that. Is it at local level? Is it state integration? Is it something that we can do at the federal level? So we would love to just continue to hear from folks, engage with you all on what's working for you at the state level, and I think as we kind of brainstorm and explore what are some potential solutions for us to improve in that space, we'll be reaching out to you all to ask for your feedback and suggestions. Related to that, it was great at ATSEP TRF to hear from a couple of the state FARS analysts, and we heard from a couple new state FARS analysts that they are having some challenges with kind of getting information, EMS related information for those fatalities that are occurring in their state. And so one of the things that I'd like to do is just kind of better understand kind of the landscape of, how the FARS data analysts are interacting with state data managers, what's working well, what's a challenge. So if there's any states out there or, that have had success in kind of working with their FARS analysts on sharing that information, that would be great to hear. Or, if the vendors, if you, as those requests come in, if you're able to, as the state data manager, able to kind of fulfill those requests and share that information with the FARS analyst, that would be great to know. Or if that's something that you generally kind of pass off to your state repository vendor and just kind of have the state repository vendor work with the FARS analyst, that would be of interest as well. So yeah, we'd just love to hear back from folks on that. If we don't have time today, that's fine. But if you want to email me or I'd love to hear from you at the annual meeting as well. And so I think as we transition over to Monet, I just want to say I'm really looking forward to the annual meeting, looking forward to have a chance to chat with you all and meet with you all and discuss and work through some issues in person. So, and then just please reach out to us. If there's anything we can do for you at the NHTSA Office of EMS, as always, please reach out to us, call us, send us an email. Thanks very much, and I'll hand it back to you, Casey.
All right. Thank you, Jeremy. All right. Next is Monet to discuss annual meeting.
Thank you so much, Casey. I'm going to share my screen. All right. Hello, everyone. I'm so excited. We're going to see you very soon. Hopefully, we'll see many of you very soon. All right, let's go to this beautiful banner and click on this box here, the picture. We're going to talk about a few different things related to the annual meeting. So please be patient with me. The first thing I would like to let you know is that we have updated the agenda. However, this is not the last update. We will be making a few tweaks to the current agenda that's posted, but this agenda should give you a pretty good idea of the flow of the meeting. What I want to mention here is that we have 3 pre-conference forums. We have one for the data managers, we'll have one for the software vendors, and we'll have one for the EPCR user group forum. I also want to talk a little bit about the first day of the general session. This day, Wednesday and Thursday, are required for software compliant vendors. But I would like to turn a little bit of time over to Dr. Mann because I want him to give a special plug for our confirmed, one of our confirmed keynote speakers. Clay,
Thank you, Monet. We'll be pleased for one of our key speakers to invite Dr. Greg Mears to come and give a presentation. Dr. Greg, he is literally the father and the visionary who thought of the idea of NEMSIS and put together the additional or the original plan for how NEMSIS might work. So he has literally seen it from beginning to this point, right? So he'll be there available. He'll be presenting, and there'll also be kind of a panel period where people are able to ask Greg questions. And I know he'll be happy to respond to those questions. His wife Cindy is coming. I'll just mention that folks may remember Cindy. Cindy worked within NHTSA with the EMSC project for many years. So they'll both be with us, and that will be a great opportunity to hear from Greg.
Thank you, Clay. And we also have another gentleman who's speaking on Thursday, Mr. Dr. I believe he's a doctor, or he's a chief, Michael Sasser. So if you're familiar with that name, please come out for these 2 days and enjoy the conversation, engage with national stakeholders. very informal group of people who will be together, meeting, talking, discussing all of the things. And I'm sad that we removed Jen from the list and also Mr. Cheney, but you wanted an updated agenda, and so we're continuing to refine the agenda. Okay, moving on from the agenda, I want to go to this red button here that says register now. I want to describe a few things about this page. So currently we are in what's called the early bird window. It's an opportunity for you to save some money. However, the early bird rate for the meeting will expire on Monday the 28th. So please go ahead and take advantage of the opportunity to register in person. I'll go ahead and click on this box here just to show you that you have a couple of options. There are some options here. It says if you're an advisory board member, certainly you could register there, but if you're not, don't bother with that option. But what I want to mention is the Tuesday through Friday session is your best option. It really provides a lot of opportunity for networking. All the meals are included with the exception of dinner. However, you're going to be fed so very well for breakfast and lunch, you may not need dinner. So this is your best option. I just want to also remind you that the hotel, I'm going to go back one page. The event, the meeting is being hosted at the Sheraton Park City. They have currently sold out our block, which I'm very grateful and thankful for. And I am currently working on an addendum to our contract so I can add more rooms. But I need your names and your dates today so that I can get this accomplished before Friday. So if you have not yet registered and you want to get the 164 rate, please go ahead and send me an email, send me a ticket, just send me your information. After Friday, the rate will be $220 per night. And again, we're always trying to find ways to help you save money to participate in the meeting. I believe, unless there are any questions, I believe, oh, I do. I have one more topic I want to address with you, okay? Let me go back to the page. On Wednesday, we are going to enjoy a fun activity as a group. It's the mountain resort, and there are two options, the scenic ride or the double play. These rides are included with your registration. We just need you to fill out the form, and I will add this information to the chat or to, I'll put it in the chat so that you can register. There's also a reminder about this particular activity when you register. Before you check out, you'll see a reminder for this on the storefront portal. So if you're interested, you're still in town with us on Wednesday evening, go ahead and fill out this form so that we can get our numbers satisfied for this group activity as well. And I believe that's all I have. Are there any questions?
All right, not seeing any questions come in.
Okay. All right. If you have any questions that come up later, please let us know. We're definitely here to help you, and we look forward to seeing you. We're planning for you. We're going to have a fabulous time. You don't want to miss it. Okay, talk to you soon. Thank you, Casey.
All right, thank you, Monet. I know Monet has worked very hard getting our annual meeting set up and ready to go. We're all looking forward to it, seeing you all out there. Okay, just a couple reminders. The next NEMSIS public training will be on Tuesday, September 2nd, at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Mr. Josh Legler is going to be talking about the Git repository. Next V3 meeting will be Wednesday, August 13th. The meeting for August 27th will be canceled due to the annual meeting, and also for September 10th will be canceled due to the university's DCC day. If you have any questions about that, please feel free to send one of us an email or pop something in a Q&A, whichever you prefer. Okay, so for our RMP breakout rooms, we have Alabama, Biospatial, ESO, Image Trend, Ohio, and Texas. So I think we can go ahead and start getting into those.
I was going to say one quick announcement, Casey,
Oh,
is just
yep.
that the state of Utah has a holiday tomorrow, Pioneer Day. And so the University of Utah also has that holiday, or we will essentially not be in office or available to respond quickly to emails tomorrow. So heads up about that.
Perfect. Thank you, Lauri.
Yep.
All right. All right. Chris, if you're ready for breakout rooms, I think we can go ahead and do that.